So today's main learning objective is to introduce everyone to these four concepts when it comes to shooting with a manual camera: aperture, shutter speed, ISO, and how these three things relate to the exposure triangle. Now, there's no expectation, obviously, that you have any of these mastered or that you know how to directly apply them to your camera, but my hope is the goal of today is to have just a general familiarization of the concept, okay? Not only the concept, but where that stuff would be adjusted on your physical camera. Now, where are you gonna find this information? Well, if you go to our Intro Photo Block 3, under the Classwork tab, you're gonna find under Unit 2, Film Photography, this, this materials post. Now there's several things that are listed on this material post. The first thing is a link to the handout that you will be given to by Ms. Stone Cologne. This handout is meant as a basis for you to take your notes. I would like you to take whatever notes that you feel will allow you to better understand this concept. So yeah, there are these prompts that you can fill out, but by all means, I'm encouraging you to take as many notes as you can so that you feel for yourself a strong understanding of these basic concepts. If you go back to our Unit 2 photography, you're gonna see that there is also this link that says sign in Google accounts. It's actually a link to our course website, and more specifically to learning manual settings on the camera. My expectation of you is that you are going to read and familiarize yourselves with the exposure triangle, the introduction of the exposure triangle, understanding or getting a basic idea of what is correct exposure, what does underexposure, what does overexposure look like. I'd like you to read all of this. And then here you're gonna start with the aperture. Read all of this. There are questions that are going to kind of test your knowledge of what you understood from these two videos that you're going to watch. You're expected to watch all these, both these videos and take notes. You have this another section that's shutter speed. Again, you're expected to read all of this and watch these two videos. And ISO. And here's a video for ISO. Now, if you have extra time, there is a 10-minute video of a gentleman talking about how you're actually applying this when using your camera. This is bonus. So if you get to this, that's great, but if you don't worry. Then finally, on your handout, you notice there's a picture of this bucket with rain, and it's a metaphor for how you actually meter your pictures. Again, this is bonus material. Read it over. This kind of lets you know the relationship between the ISO, your shutter speed, and your aperture. But again, your main focus is going to be on the materials under ISO, shutter speed, and aperture, exposure, and how it relates to the exposure triangle. Finally, if you have extra time, you can click on this photo manual hyperdoc, and this is going to lead you to links to videos that let you understand how to use your camera. It also lets you know how to load your camera with film and how to rewind the film once it's done. This is all bonus. And if you do look at this and you do want to like open the back of your camera to see how you load film, or you want to take off your lens, I just have one thing I need to ask of you, which is do not stick your fingers in the camera. The camera is very, very vulnerable when the doors are open or when the lens is off, and these things can break very, very easily. So if you do open the back just to inspect where the film goes, you can open the door, but close it when you're done. Just don't poke your fingers and touch things inside the camera, okay? Ms. Stone Cologne is going to collect this handout from you with your notes at the end of class, and you'll be giving a self-assessment chart to where you can rate your understanding and knowledge after today's lesson plan. More on that later.